Hey guys, and in this video I'm going to review the Elseworlds crossover. No, I don't want to waste any time, so let's just get into the review. So the episode starts off with what the teaser was, basically with the Earth 19 flash, and the whole Earth 19 burnt to the ground, and the Monitor who did it, he's killed a bunch of heroes. Now I just really quickly wanted to go over some of the heroes that I noticed in this scene being on the ground, like dead. And first of all, this is very clearly Stargirl. This is the first hero we see dead. So yeah, this is very clearly Stargirl. I don't know if it's the Smallville version or the Arrowverse version, but I'm guessing it's none of them. It is the Earth 90 version. I'm guessing this is just someone we haven't met yet. And this is very clearly, Firestorm, and I'm guessing this is also the Earth 90 version because the other Firestorm, spoiler alert, the other Firestorm, of course, was killed in Crisis on Earth X, so I don't know what this is. And this one is really interesting. This is, or it looks like that it is the Green Arrow from Smallville. Now, if it is, it could also just be an Earth 90 version of the Green Arrow, but it looks very similar to how it looked very similar to how, what can I say? It looked very similar to how the Smallville version looks. So I don't know if the Smallville universe is Earth 90. I don't know. Or this is just another Green Arrow. I don't know. But it looks very similar to the Smallville version. So we then see John Wesley Shipp's Earth 90 Flash just go up to the Monitor and say, like, what are you doing? And the Monitor says, like, oh, you failed to stop my whatever. And takes the book, and basically he wants to rewrite reality. And by the way, the Monitor is so great. He is so intimidating. He's just, the actor that plays him is really good, and he's one of the best parts of the episode. He's thrown in right in the beginning of the episode. He's one of the first characters we see, which is awesome. So he basically then goes to John Deegan and gives him the book, or the Book of Destiny, I think it was called, or I don't know if it got a name at all. I think it was just called a book. It was just a book. I don't think it got a name, but I'm gonna call it the Book of Destiny because it sounds awesome, and I believe there was a Book of Destiny in the comics. So he gives the Book of Destiny to him and says, "Just do what you want with it," and then he leaves. So John Deegan then does the brilliant idea of switching Barry and Oliver around. So Barry is named Oliver Queen. He's the Green Arrow, and Oliver is named Barry Allen and is the Flash. Now, from now on, when I say Oliver Queen in this video, I will be referring to the person that Grant Gustin plays. So I'll be referring to who's in this crossover, the Green Arrow. So remember this: when I say Oliver Queen from now on, I'll be referring to who the Green Arrow is in this crossover, played by Grant Gustin. And when I say Barry Allen, I will be referring to who the Flash is in this crossover, played by Stephen Amell. Just remember that so you don't get confused. And I think the idea of having the two main Arrowverse characters or Arrowverse heroes switch lives is a really cool idea. And the biggest, craziest thing in this crossover by far, we see that the frickin' pipeline has toilets. What the fuck? Holy shit. Sorry for cursing, or yeah. But I did not expect this at all, that we would ever find out about. Oh, just kidding. It's not really that much. A lot of people are really overreacting about the fact that it had toilets, but I'm glad they finally revealed that it had toilets, because if they didn't, that would be a little bit weird for the inmates that are down there. And we get to see something I never thought I'd see in the Arrowverse, and that is Amazo, because in the comics, Amazo was created by Anthony Ivo, who we've already seen Anthony Ivo on the show. He was in season 2 of Arrow Flashbacks, and Oliver killed him. But apparently here, I think it was called Ivo Industries or something. Amazo's there. Apparently Ivo was the CEO or something before he died, or his father was, or his son was. I don't know. It's called Ivo Industries. I don't know. I don't know if he's the CEO or someone else called Ivo. I don't know, but Amazo was really, really cool in this episode. I loved him. And then this frickin' happened. The frickin' Smallville theme plays, and oh my goodness. They go to the Kent farm, Lois Lane's there, Supergirl's there, Superman's there. This is everything I could ever want in anything. And of course, this Superman is my favorite. He seems so much like a Boy Scout more than any other Superman, and definitely more than Henry Cavill. They got this Superman casting so right. Lois Lane, I thought she was okay. I thought she would be better when I heard that she was going to be cast. I thought she was okay in this. Not the best Lois Lane, I think, but she was still pretty good. So they go and they train on the Kent farm, and there's this hilarious moment where Barry shoots Oliver in the back for payback for when Oliver shot Barry in the back in, I think, the Flash versus Arrow crossover, and that was just great. And that scene where they got a little argument and Oliver was shouting, that was great. And that tiny fight they had, that was pretty cool. And when Oliver just super speeded at Barry and he fell on the ground, I really felt bad for Oliver just seeing him lie there on the ground. Great scene. So the heroes go up against Amazo in a fucking awesome fight. It is really cool. It's Superman, Supergirl, Green Arrow, and the Flash all taking down Amazo. And Amazo was pretty much the villain of this episode 1 of the Elseworlds crossover. Now, my thoughts on this episode as a whole is it is probably the worst episode of the 3, but it's not because it's bad. It's really good, but I just enjoy the other episodes more. So let's move on to episode 2 of Elseworlds. So Kara, Barry, Oliver, and those three just walk around talking about the Batman, and they're talking about is he real, is he not real, and basically it's just a really good scene of Oliver and Barry arguing, saying like, oh, Batman's real, and oh, Batman's not real. It's just really funny. So they then go to fucking, sorry for cursing, I'm gonna try to stop. They go to Gotham City and explore it, and cars there. This is amazing. Barry arrives. This is so cool. Oliver goes there. Oliver arrives. It is so cool to see them be in Gotham City. This is everything I could ever want in a crossover. It is so awesome. And they then find the bat signal, take it off, and Barry says like, "You still think he's a myth," which was hilarious, and this is just so cool. Like I said before, everything I could ever want from an Arrowverse crossover. So amazing. I can't describe this feeling that I get in my body. This is so amazing that this I fainted first time I saw it. No, I didn't faint, but oh, this is awesome. So they go to Arkham Asylum where we see some familiar names on some of the doors. For example, there is Oswald Cobblepot, who's the Penguin and a really big Batman villain. Then there is a riddle written on the wall, which is obviously a reference to the Riddler. And then there's the biggest villain of all time, Mark Guggenheim, on one of the doors. He's the biggest villain in DC history, so I'm glad they put him on a door. And now I'm going to talk about Batwoman, who in this crossover was absolutely fantastic. And I gotta say, Ruby Rose was surprisingly good as Batwoman. She was amazing. She was so good as Batwoman. Incredibly good. Better than I had expected. And I loved every single of the Batman. I love all the Batman references in this crossover. It was so amazing, and I'm wondering really where Batman is at because they said he left Gotham. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get an explanation for that soon. My guess is that Bane broke his back and he's off recovering at some point, and he'll return soon. And before Kara and Batwoman say goodbye to each other, basically Kara says that she's gonna miss Batwoman, and Batwoman says world's finest. So I don't know if that's gonna tease a future crossover between the two. It would be pretty cool. So the Flash Earth 90 appears at the frickin' Argus and says, basically drops one of the best hints in the universe ever. He looks at John Diggle and he says, "John, you're not wearing your ring," which basically confirms John Diggle is Green Lantern. So John is Green Lantern on the frickin'. John is a lantern on the Earth 90. John is a Green Lantern. What the? This is so cool. I would want so much if John Diggle Green Lantern showed up. That would be so incredibly cool in a later crossover. The Arrowverse became so much better because of this crossover. So we then see all the heroes going towards the Monitor because the 90s Flash warned them about the Monitor. So they face the Monitor. But the Monitor then goes back again and gives the book again to John Deegan. And John Deegan does something weird. He makes it so that Oliver and Barry are now wanted. They are criminals. And they're wanted. And then Diaz comes and tries to arrest them, but they get away. And then while they're escaping, Black Suit Superman jumps down and is ready to kill them, leading into the next episode. But I really hate how they use the 90s Flash in this crossover, because he appears for a second, then the Monitor vanishes him, and he's not in it for the rest of the time. That really just annoys me. So we find out that the evil Superman is actually John Deegan, who turned himself into Superman. And then Barry and Oliver go to the Fortress of Solitude to get the actual Superman to fight Super Dick, as Cisco called him, the black-suited Superman that Cisco called Super Dick. I think that's a pretty cool name, so I'm just going to call him Super Dick for the rest of this video, because I love that name. So Super Dick and Superman duke it out. They fight. They punch each other through buildings. It's just really epic. They freaking battle, and it's just really cool to see this. It's so cool. But eventually, Oliver makes a deal with the Monitor if the Monitor wants to, set the timeline back to normal. And a deal, I don't know what deal he's been doing, but yeah, as I said before, I'll do a video with Keith reviews on, what it will be like in the next crossover, which will most likely be Crisis on Infinite Earths. But yeah, I'm not going to go into all the Crisis on Infinite Earths stuff now. I will do that in the video with Keith. So that's it for this review. But guys, that was my review of Elseworlds. If you want to put your thoughts on Elseworlds in the comments, just please do it, because I really want to know what you thought about Elseworlds. And I'll just see you guys in the next video. Bye.